This right here is my Robinhood portfolio here on the Robinhood Brokerage, which is currently down almost 100% as far as all time on the max time frame. Yes, from well over $300,000 invested down to just around $80 left or so in this portfolio is all that's left in my Robinhood. Now in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why I decided to leave the Robinhood Brokerage, and will also explain to you some brokerages that are the best, in my opinion, when it comes to not only trading stocks, but long-term investing, etc. Now stick around, drop a like down below, and subscribe for more high-quality stock market videos like this. Now, like I said, this used to be my main portfolio here on the Robinhood app, which I then transferred all my different stocks out of just a few years back and moved my entire portfolio over to the TD Ameritrade brokerage. Now, there was multiple different reasons on why I decided to do this, but the main reason was that I didn't feel comfortable with having this amount of money in the Robinhood brokerage, and this was because of a few reasons. Now, one of the main reasons, and probably the biggest reason at the time, was the fact that Robinhood did not have a good customer service system. Keep in mind, back when I was on Robinhood, it was during the earlier days of my investing journey, and like any new investor, I had plenty of different questions to ask, and whenever I went to reach out to Robinhood, for one, they didn't even have a customer service phone line, which I think later on they created a customer service phone line for like gold members only, but back in my day, the only way to get into contact with Robinhood and get a question answered, or anything for that matter, was to go through the inbox and then set up a support ticket, wait like 1 to 4 days, and get your question answered. Now, this was definitely disheartening considering I had well over $250,000 in the brokerage, and for that reason alone, I was more than excited to leave the brokerage and move the money into a platform that not only had multiple different customer service phone lines, but all kinds of different support settings, along with actual physical branches I could go into in my area if I ever so wanted to. Now, on top of that, one of the other main things I did not like about Robinhood was the sort of childish interface. It didn't really feel like a real brokerage to me. The fact that they use things like confetti and other sort of childish ways to make investing fun or make investing cool. Again, considering I had a large amount of my overall net worth in this platform, I didn't really connect with it all that well. And again, I felt like I sort of need to step things up and go to a brokerage that sort of matched the seriousness that I wanted to take investing. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that there aren't still a few things that I absolutely loved about the Robinhood brokerage, and I want to go over those right now. For one, I did like how simple it was, especially for a relatively new investor that was sort of just getting to start to understand everything that the stock market entailed and trading entailed. But the main thing that I loved about the Robinhood brokerage was the option interface. Selling and buying options is definitely, without a doubt, to this day, my absolute favorite aspect about this brokerage, and the only reason why I even still have this brokerage open to begin with. Buying and selling options on Robinhood is one of the easiest interfaces and is one of the most satisfying interfaces across any other stock market platform that I've personally used. And this was especially helpful considering I started my option trading journey back when I was on the Robinhood app. Learning how to sell calls and puts here on Robinhood was very, very helpful, and I'm honestly forever eternal grateful for that, because over the years, by utilizing those skills, I've been able to make, well over 6 figures by selling options, and I've been able to take the skills that I learned from Robinhood over to different brokerages, where I think if I wouldn't have started with Robinhood, I do think I would have had a little bit more of a learning curve and a little bit more trouble when it comes to options trading in general. Now, I'm sure you might be wondering, well, that's great. You left Robinhood, you didn't really like it, and it sort of makes sense by this point. But where did you go with the rest of your portfolio and why? So the brokerage I chose to go with and import my entire portfolio into was none other than TD Ameritrade. And this right here is actually the portfolio that I moved over from Robinhood years ago. Now, I chose TD Ameritrade for a few reasons. For one, I absolutely love the Thinkorswim platform. The Thinkorswim platform, as you can see right here, is super interactive and sort of the sky's the limit when it comes to trading with this level of platform. Now, also, like I touched on earlier, I liked the fact that TD Ameritrade actually had a good amount of customer service options available if I did have any questions, because once again, during your early days of investing, you are most likely going to have plenty of different questions to ask, which is totally understandable. But TD Ameritrade had great customer service, they had great online chat options, and they even had, like I said, physical locations to go into. Now, one of the main things I was really impressed by when it came to switching over from Robinhood to TD Ameritrade was, which I actually had a manager from a local branch reach out to me from TD Ameritrade and leave a voicemail on my phone asking if I had any other questions, and even if I wanted to come in, introduce myself, and sort of just get to know each other. Now, this was of course super cool and impressive and very different from the experience that I had with the Robinhood app, which instantly made me feel like I made the right decision. Now, other than TD Ameritrade, I also have brokerages on other platforms as well, because I personally like to sort of separate all the money out to make sure I'm not over the FDIC limit, etc. But honestly, over my 6 or 7 years of trading now on multiple different platforms, right now my all-time favorite would have to be TD Ameritrade. My second all-time favorite would have to be Fidelity. Then I think I like M1 Finance and Robinhood about the same for different reasons. And then after that come the smaller platforms like Public or any of the other ones. Now, another thing that's maybe important to mention and maybe to keep in mind is that it also is going to depend on which type of trading that you're interested in doing. If you're more of a day trader, more of an option trader, or more of a long-term investor, there's going to be different brokerages that sort of apply to more of what you're looking for. For example, if you're more of a day trader, you're probably going to want to be on something like TD Ameritrade that has a lot of different interactive options when it comes to charting different stocks or doing research, etc. If you're maybe more of a beginner trader and you want to just maybe buy into some things, swing trade them, hold them for a few days or a few nights, and sort of just dip your toes in the water, I think that Robinhood Brokerage is definitely perfectly fine. But for me personally, as more of a long-term buy and hold investor, I'd like to have the majority of my money into different massive companies that I can trust more, like TD Ameritrade or even Fidelity. Although I'm not necessarily saying that some of these newer brokerages aren't trustworthy, it's just sort of where my personal risk tolerance landed. But when it comes to choosing the best stock market brokerage for your investments, which is your number one favorite brokerage and why? Comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like in it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.